everybody! How are you doing today? Are you having a good time? Nope, don't start the next one. Are you having a fun time? Are you having a goblin kind of time? Great song? Well, thank you. I quite like it. I've had to listen to it several times now. If you... I'm sure this will be really interesting for the people who only watch on YouTube. Which, by the way, if you're someone who never comes to the streams live and you've only watched on YouTube, sound off in the comments. But the previous episode, since we were just kind of chilling, playing the Triangle event, we ended up listening to a bunch of music. And I was like, it's fine. YouTube has this cool new thing where you can digitally remove the audio without removing the other audio. Like, you can still hear me talking, it's a little echoey and weird, but if there's music in the background, it'll remove it. And I was like, oh, okay, so I could play like 5 or 6 or 10 songs. Surely they're all covers, so I didn't think they would all be claimed. And even if they did, I could just use that tool. And what I didn't realize was that 1, they would all be claimed, and 2, that while YouTube can do that, it can only do 1 song at a time, and it takes about 80 minutes to do it. So I uploaded that yesterday, and I'm still going through all the copyright claims to fix it. Terrible idea. Do not... I should not do that in the future. Or if I should, if I do something like that, I should just cut all the music out in editing. And it's really curious. I'm going to be really curious to see what the people who watch on YouTube think about that. Because it's a lot of, like, 3 minutes of me playing Yu-Gi-Oh! While I'm going like this to music that is not there anymore. I updated my Twitch so I can finally catch your streams. Welcome. I'm doing pretty good. I've got my coffee, of course, which I always drink before stream, because it doesn't make me as burp as sodas. I've got a very simple dinner tonight, just some peanut butter toast on sourdough bread. Oh. Delicious. And I've got a jar of rocks, chat. Haven't you always wanted a jar of rocks? They're fantastic. Look at this. Just a perfect shade of, like, brown. A perfect river rock. Delicious as well. Delicious rocks, yes. Perfect for Block Dragon. Also, I guess today's weather. We did Mamma Mia by Austin Weber. Originally by ABBA. We did 2 covers today. I guess I should specify that. We did the Austin Weber version of Mamma Mia. And the Jill is Lucky version of What's Up. Moving like Abigail from Stardew Valley. I've played Stardew Valley, and I don't remember which one is Abigail. Rocks taste like chicken, for real. These ones, they have a very sweet taste, you know? The purple hair one, she eats rocks. Interesting. Why would she do such a thing? I know why I'm eating rocks. I'm on stream. I'll do anything for money. Which, by the way, if you like the rock eating, please donate money. I'll need it to eventually get all these out of my my colon. Because she rocks. Touché. Touché, salesman. Let's get some copyright-free music in here real quick. Not that one. That's a bit loud. Where's my playlist? I have a playlist of all the YouTube music. Stream music. I forget how calm Hardleg is outside of his videos. Very calming, actually. I'm pretty calm in the videos, except when I'm not, you know? I get excited from time to time. Alright. Calm Guy Joe. We're gonna do a mini Let's Learn here to start out. If you've never been to a Hardleg Learn stream, it's a 3-part process. First, we're gonna read every card. Make sure that we are familiar with them. I've done this once before, so this shouldn't be too difficult. Then I'm gonna try to build a brief deck myself. Then we're going to watch a whole bunch of deck profiles to try to get an idea for what other people have done, combine their knowledge with our own now that we have an idea of how the deck operates. And then we build it and we start testing out combos. How many new cards do we get for Goblin Bikers? I believe we have all of them now, right? We're missing Crazy Beasts. Ah, because it's just called Goblin's Crazy Beast. Okay, so everything's in Master Duel. And I'm pretty sure, just from what I remember, that, like, we want to play... Where's Takatambo? There he is. Also, how's this music? Is this music too loud? Do I need to turn it down a little bit? Slightly too loud. How's that? Tour guide targets itself, if nothing else. Beast Warrior, Warrior, Fiend, but it's level 6. Okay, you can get Mean Merciless. Okay, so let's go through this real quick. We'll do a very brief Let's Learn. I've already done this before, so I already kind of remember. So, like, I know, for instance, we absolutely start with Big Gabonga, because this is like... I don't think it's our most powerful boss monster, but it's the one that we're going to end on like 90% of the time, right? Like, it's the easiest to make, it's 2 level 3s. At the end of the day, this is an Ixie deck. You're going to, like, if your board gets interrupted, you're ending on Big Gabonga. Angel Crab, thank you for the 29 months. Pardon me. Big Gabonga. Only 2100 attack. If this is Ixie summoned, add a goblin monster from your deck to your hand. So it adds any monster. If a material is detached from a monster on the field, can be your monster, can be your opponent's, can be this card itself, any monster. Which I believe makes this like a good counter to Ryziel when that comes out. So if that happens, target a face-up monster on the field, except this card, attach it to this card as material. I like how they have to specify that you can't attach Big Gabonga to itself and create a weird infinite loop. During the end phase, attach one goblin from your deck to this card as material. Every day we get closer to greatness. Thank you, Angel Crab, contributing to the Legend of Lefty Illustration Fund. Which, by the way, I suppose I should point out, you know, while we're here at the beginning of things, if you're unaware, The Legend of Lefty is my audiobook project. Part 1 already out on the YouTube. Part 2 in the works. I'm putting out text versions of the chapters every week as we build towards getting Part 2 ready to record. I'm hoping to do that sometime in August or September. That's our current target area. And while I can't afford to get one illustration done for like the thumbnail in the background, I think the project will be a lot better if I can get multiple illustrations. If I can show off a bunch of different scenes from it, get some pictures of characters, not only will that make the audiobook itself more interesting to watch, but it'll give me something I can use to advertise it, show off some of the unique worlds and characters and world building stuff that happens. So if you're interested at all in helping me realize my dream of becoming an actual author and funding like an original project, consider donating some money to the illustration fund. Professional illustrations, they're very expensive. I'm hoping to get 5 at about $400 each, so we set the goal at $2,000 that we can hopefully reach before August. If not, you know, for every 400 we get to, that's another illustration. It's like an ongoing goal, right? We don't necessarily have to reach all of it to get something. And even if I just get like 100 or 200, I'll at least get some like character sketches or some portraits or something. Incredibly expensive, yeah. Don't forget Roto. We'll get to it in a moment. Alright, so we got Big Gabonga. We probably want 2 of them. And then from there, we go in there, and I'm pretty sure this is a 3 of. I could potentially be wrong. But Goblin Biker's Gone Wild. If you control no monsters, or all monsters are goblins, you can normal summon this without tributing. Only use this effect once per turn. This card is normal or special summoned. Special summon a level 4 or lower goblin from your deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard, target 1 card of the field, attach it to a goblin as Ixie material. Yeah, so it's a starter. If you get it, it instantly gets you another goblin out of the deck. Granted, you can't Ixie summon with it, depending on what you get, but I'm pretty sure you get like Doug, and then Doug gets you stuff. More importantly, though, at the end phase, if you've made Gabonga, you just attach this to it. Does this have an effect that detaches? No. You need something else, but I'm pretty sure a bunch of these detach. But what'll happen, right, is that, like, you'll detach from this, then because you detach, it'll trigger the Gone Wild, and it'll trigger Big Gabonga, and you can get 2 cards your opponent controls and attach them. Every goblin detaches, thankfully. Well, not Gone Wild. Doug Charger, I believe, is our other extender. If this is in the hand, you can detach a material from a monster on either field, special summon it. If this card is summoned, add a Goblin Biker spell trap from your deck to your hand. I believe this is also like a 1-card combo, because like you do this, and then one of these spell traps summons from the deck. And if nothing else, like, you're going to be using Big Gabonga. Like, you can make Big Gabonga, you'll search Doug Charger, then Charger can detach from Gabonga to summon itself. Are there unaffected monsters that can be affected by the attach effect? No. In the case of Blue Eyes specifically, because these effects target, if they have like, if they have the Divine Light or whatever out, I can't target Blue Eyes and attach it. However, this attaches a monster. This attaches a card. So Gone Wild can attach like the True Light to Gabonga as a equipment.
For the children.
Don Stylo with the $5 for the children. What children? This is not a charity, but thank you. Okay, then we got Clatter Sploder. If this card is normal or special summoned, target a goblin in your graveyard, special summon it. During your opponent's main phase, if this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, detach one material from a monster on the field, special summon this, but banish it when it leaves the field. Can I lie about it to the IRS? You can. I'm not sure if that would work. Will you be playing the punk package? Maybe. We'll see. So this is something I believe originally I was like, you probably only want one of this because it's a recovery card. But like, it's such a good card to have. Because you're almost always going to have a goblin in the graveyard past like your first opening move. And then it just becomes a quick effect way. It's like, yeah, you detach something from Big Gabonga, it summons itself, and then it summons back whatever it detached. So like, Goblin Biker's Gone Wild will go to the graveyard, and then it'll attach something, and then this will bring it back, and then when it's summoned, you can summon another goblin from the deck. So get another, like, Doug Charger, and then, like, get another Spell Trap. Mean Merciless. We want to play at least one if we're doing Tour Guide. I'm not so sure about the Tour Guide, because it feels like in a modern deck, you really just want to have one, maybe two normal summons, and we've already got two candidates for normal summons. Like, if we open a hand that's like Gone Wild, Doug Charger, Tour Guide, then like, I can only play one of them, and the other two are near useless. I mean, Doug Charger is useless useful if the Tour Guide resolves. But we may not want that many starters. But Mean Merciless, if this card is normal or special summon a goblin from your hand, except herself. During your main phase, if this card is in the graveyard, you can detach one material from a monster on either field, and if you do, special summon this, banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, that's not a quick effect, though. It's just during your main phase. So, yeah, that's probably a one of. Like, absolutely right. Getting text messages and shit. Oh, they're letting me know my rocks were delivered. Yeah, I was very excited because I ordered these rocks, and they said they wouldn't be arriving until tomorrow. So we got the rocks early, chat. Also, I will say, I expected the rocks to look like rocks. I didn't expect them to sound like rocks, you know? They're surprisingly, they got that the jingle jangle that I wouldn't have expected. Also, I'm curious, chat, do you know, like, what kind of rock is this? Like, the blue one? Like, what is this supposed... Like, is this lapis lazuli? My only encounter with rocks is, like, fucking Minecraft. I don't know. It doesn't taste blue. It tastes just as sweet as everything else. It looks like normal pebbles, yeah. I collect them. They're all polished and stuff. Are you not blue now? No. Are those edible rocks? I sure hope so. If not, I'm making a big mistake. And then you got like the white ones. I don't know what that would be. Shale? Maybe that's... White is usually what I associate with granite, but this isn't it like... Granite wouldn't be in little pebbles like this, right? Whoa. It's like Abraham Lincoln said, chat. Anything is a dildo if you're brave enough. And the same is true of edible things. Everything's edible if you're brave enough. There may be repercussions, but you can do it. Okay. Goblin Biker Boom Mock. I remember when he said that. I was there, yeah. I believe that was the same conference where Ben Franklin said like 90% of the things said on the internets are misattributed. I think that was like... Yeah, he was like 90% of all quotes on the internet are misattributed. Okay. Boom Mock. Once per chain during the main phase. If this is in your hand or graveyard, quick effect. Detach one material from a monster on either field, summon this card. Also, you cannot special summon Boom Mock until the end of the turn. So this one's a little bit more useful. It's good in the hand. Maybe I could see 2 for the grind game. It's definitely an extender of some kind. It feels like there should be more Goblin Bikers. Maybe we play 3 just to have. Caesar's worst nightmare. I hope your day was well, Joe, from Ellie and Jay. Ah, 2 for the price of 1. Thank you very much. I double up on mean for more goblins. We'll see. Okay. Grand Entrance. Add 1 goblin from your deck to your hand. Then you can apply the following effect. Detach 1 Ixie from a monster on either field, and if you do, special summon a goblin from your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, detach 1 Ixie material from a monster on either field, then add 1 goblin from your graveyard to your hand. Ah, the Rhoda, yeah. Rhoda with upside! Yeah, so I could absolutely see, like... we'll see. I was like, yeah, you get that, and then you summon her for free, but you also have to detach. Maybe if Ixies become more in vogue. I believe this is also a 3 of. It's tribute 1 monster, special summon a goblin from the deck. It cannot attack this turn. When a monster declares an attack, banish this from your graveyard, detach any number of materials. All monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 for each material till the end of this turn. Yeah, so they've got a card that searches anything and a card that summons anything, although this needs... But this is a great, like, it's like Memento Bone Party, right? It's like, normal summon Doug Charger, Effect Veiler, Chain Grand Breakout. Tribute the Doug Charger. Now there's nothing for Veiler to target, so you get the search. There's a missing goblin on Gone Wild. Interesting. Grand Bash. Goblins you control gain 300 for every goblin you control. During the main phase, you can normal summon one goblin in addition to your normal summon. You can only gain this effect once per turn. Target 2 goblins, then activate one of these. Make one the level of the other level. Both their levels become the combined levels. Gotcha. So if you have a 6... If you have a 6 and a 3, you can make both a 3, you can make both a 6. If you have 2 3s, you can make them 6s. I believe this is just like a one-of, though, right? Like, there's some combos where you want to search this, but having it usually doesn't help because you don't have enough goblins. Stinky poo-poo card. It's usually a 0 of. Interesting. You would think extra normal would be really useful. Grand Pile Up. Target 1 Ixie you control. Special summon a Goblin Ixie from your extra deck using that target as material, and if you do, attach this card as material. This is treated as an Ixie summon. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target a Goblin Ixie you control, and one card in either graveyard. Attach the targeted card to that card. Helps us make the rank 6. Yeah, it's any Goblin Ixie. We turn Big Gabonga into something else, and then it offers graveyard removal. Grand Crisis. Target 1 goblin you control and 1 monster your opponent controls, or target 1 goblin in your graveyard and 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard. Banish both. Send this card from the spell trap zone. Target 5 banished goblins with different names. Special summon them. Mid but nice. Yeah, this seems oddly... I mean, it is removal. Grand Stampede. During the main phase, you can, immediately after this resolves, Ixie summon using only goblin monsters you control. If you control a goblin Ixie, you can target 1 effect monster on the field, detach 1 material from a monster on either field, and if you do, negate that monster's effects. Exactly, yeah, we're never resolving that final one, most likely. This would just be a case of, like, if I could do my combo and have something to search left over, this is just like DD Crow, essentially. It's DD Crow or SP, whichever I prefer. Yeah, I could see any of these being a one-of. Probably not likely, but, like, you know, it's there. Let me read what these other ones do, because we could summon any of them with the trap. Quick effect. Target 1 spell trap on the field, detach 2 materials from a monster, and if you do, attach that target's... that target to this card as material. If a monster you control would be destroyed, you could detach 1 material from this instead. This is in the graveyard, you could special summon this. Then attach 1 goblin from your graveyard. You can only use this once per duel. Gone bonkers. I'm gonna go bonkers. You can target face-up monsters your opponent controls up to the number of goblins you control. Detach 1 material from a monster you control, and if you do, attach those monsters to this card as material. During your opponent's turn, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of Goblin Ixies you control, detach 3 from a monster you control, and if you do, send those to the graveyard. So this, like, if you can extend and make this alongside Gabonga, then, like, you can get 2 cards and detach it both to this, and then you'll have 3. You could also use the trap, rank this up, and you'll already have 3. And then you could just send 1 card to the graveyard, assuming you have nothing else on the field. Probably worth playing at 1. Troika Griare. While 3 or more Ixie materials are attached to monsters on the field, Goblins can attack directly. If a monster is normal or special summoned while this is in the monster zone, you could target one of those monsters, detach a material from a monster, and if you do, change the targeted monster's battle position. Once per turn, when a monster declares an attack, detach one material, and if you do, negate the attack. Pretend Troika doesn't exist. It feels like it'd be decent as a one-of. It might help you go for game in certain situations. If they try to stall or try to sit on something, we've already done a bunch of damage, and then they make something like a Raid Raptor that I can't get around. It's very win more. We'll have to see how tight the extra deck is. If there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we're going to be making, then, like, yeah, I could see, like, this will be the first thing to go. But I can't imagine that we have, like, a really robust extra deck. If you want to go for game, you can attach them with Bonkers. But Bonkers is a rank 6, and we can't always make that very easily. In fact, I'm not sure, they're like, you don't play Grand Bash, and without Grand Bash, I'm not sure how you make the 6s. Because it feels like the only way to make them, unless we play more 6s natively, is to use Pile Up. Grand Bash. Fiendsmith. Of course, the Fiendsmith engine. I want to start without the Fiendsmith. See how far we can go. We'll of course add it in eventually. Unless Goblin Bikers just surprise. But yeah, I was just gonna say, this probably works. Bestials also seem good. Of course, the big thing about this deck, right? The reason why it struggles on Master Duel compared to everything else is because of the man, the boy. First time being here and I could tell you're part of the cool club. That's not how I would describe me at all. You're one of 3 people who have called me cool, and the other 2 have proven themselves fools. Do not be mistaken! The hat is merely a distraction. Okay. So, like, we want to play Ash Blossom. We want to play, Cross out. Wait, what? No, I'm a rascally goofball. Maybe, I don't know if culture has shifted enough that, like, a rascally goofball is considered cool. That you can be cool while, like, cheering about, card games and making obscure, like, science fiction references. If that happens, then yes, I will take the mantle of cool. But until then, I lack coolness. Or as the kids would say, Riz. I am Rizless, and I know not the sweet valleys of Ohio. I can barely afford to pay the phantom tax. Are you gonna make Memento Goblins? No. Because that's like 90% of Memento deck. I hate the word Riz. Of all the slang that's out now, Riz is the one that makes the most sense, and I can see sticking around for the longest, because it's one of the few that, like, makes absolute sense outside of the context of culture, right? Like, it's just short for charisma. Can you look up Overlay Network? I certainly could. Emperor Stove, welcome! Rating with a party of 9. How y'all doing? We're learning Goblin Bikers. Wasn't Riz from a rapper? It might have been. Riz has a definition and means something. I mean, based means something, but I can't imagine based lasting more than like 10 years. Skibbity and Ohio don't mean anything. Those are like complete nonsense terms that will not stick around. Aura farming means something, but it's very much locked in a specific style of like anime. Based means, yeah, it means something, but it's like the term is far removed from like it's hard to explain like what based means without telling a story, right? It's much easier to just be like Riz is short for charisma. Skibbity means explanation, excitement. What the Sigma? Yeah. What about Gat? I don't think so, because the big appeal of the word Gat, and I think the reason it exists is because it's fun to say. And that novelty will wear off with time. Welcome. I'm sorry to those who showed up for Yu-Gi-Oh! We're now talking about epistemological arguments for the meaning of language, and it's how long it will stand the test of time. Ohio means boring. Does it? The thing about Ohio is it seemingly means anything. Gen Z slang, yeah. That's one of the, I remember for a while I fell down into a little rabbit hole of people who make like brain rot versions of popular, usually songs from musicals, like Disney songs and stuff like that. And there were people talking about how like all the comments were like, I'll never escape from Ohio. It's well, I forget, it was a song from Moana where she's like, she needs to leave her home and go sail distant lands. And they used Ohio both to represent the boring place that she was in and also the glorious location that she was sailing to. Ohio can be anything. Ohio can be amazing, it can be boring, it can be fascinating. Ohio is just a place. He escaped Ohio and went to Florida. A damn shame. Crash Out? Yeah, Crash Out's a bit long. I'm trying to think of like the slang from like when I grew up and how that has changed. Where it's like, I escaped Ohio and went west. Ohio gozimasu. Ohio is just the friends we made around the way. Yeah, like, frickin' frickin' is one of those words that only exists because fuck used to be a lot more, controversial. And now it feels like fuck has become so accepted. Also, you know, slight little tangent if we're talking about, like, I'm trying to remember, what's the name of the science? Entomology? Where you study, like, how words... What does based refer to? There was a specific rapper, and he basically used it to mean being genuine to yourself. Etymology? Okay. I always get that and the study of insects mixed up together. Etymology is languages, entomology is insects. A little B, yeah, that was the rapper. Based is when you have a pH level above 7. Yeah, so little b used based as being true to yourself. I don't know the exact, like, why the word based means that. I think it has something to do with, like, you know, you're not based on anything else, you're based on yourself. But that's literally me just speculating. Maybe someone in chat knows. But I just know that's how it started, and then it slowly come to mean basically just good in a general sense. Not necessarily genuine. Although it does kind of have a slant to it of like, if you have a take that goes against standard society or goes against common knowledge, that's most likely to mean like based, right? Like if there's a movie that's very popular and I have a very good argument for why I personally dislike that movie, someone who agrees with me might say it's based because they like that take, and also there's this feeling of like that take isn't based on societal consensus, it's based on like my own personal feelings. Maybe a respect for more original thought, yeah. Like there's a hint of that, but at the same time, people will be like, "Oh, we're going to get some pizza." Like, where from? Like Pizza Hut. Oh, based. I don't think anyone said that about Pizza Hut, but like, you know, people just say it as like nice. Some people call it, yeah. I mean, some people do. Those people are wrong. Being mask off and honest. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm trying to think about the other, like, I remember Da Bomb being kind of a thing, but like, it never really stuck. It felt like no one ever used that honestly. Sweet was some slang that was really popular in the 2000s. Things were hella sweet. And I think you can still use that now and people will understand you. It's just like, it's, you know, it just hasn't, it doesn't permeate as well. I hate drip. Yeah. Cool beans. Fat, yeah, fat with a PH. That one really never stuck around all that much. Oof. I can see oof, like, sticking around. What was one? This was like an early 2000s. You still hear this a little bit? Where people, like, if something bad happens, something where now you would say oof, you would say rip. You know, like rest in peace, but just rip. Ah, rip. I lost my job. Ah, rip. Banger. Yikes, oomphy. I think those are a little after my time. Rip went to oof and then press F. Yeah, I think press F came after, but again, that's... I think the thing about language is in order to have staying power, it can't reference something in popular culture. Or if it does, then it has to, like, work outside of that. So, like, F's in the chat is a reference specifically to that Call of Duty game, where it was press F to pay respects. And as that game has been replaced by more and more Call of Duties, I feel like F is kind of falling out. And oof is still there because it's like, not only is Roblox everywhere, but even if you don't understand Roblox, that sound just has this, like, punched in the gut feeling. Bummer. No shot. Lit. It's lit, bro. What was I remember someone once had a, this is the last thing I'll say about this, we'll get back to Yu-Gi-Oh! But they had a list of, like, slang over the years and how far it stayed. And there's, like, all this old slang from, like, the 40s and the 30s that, like, never really caught on or kind of faded away. And then it's, like, 1950s, cool, and the bar just goes forever. It's, like, cool is one of those few slang words that, like, at the time... If you look back at, like, contemporary things, there's a lot of adults like, what do you mean it's cool? This isn't cold. And it's just become so ingrained that, like, yeah, you could, like, people know what you mean. They don't even, like, see it as slang anymore. Cool is just, like, in the dictionary. Like, yeah, it could mean temperature cold, or it could mean, awesome, excellent, high quality. Okay is slang from the, yeah. Okay is another example of, like, slang that just, like, became stuff. How long does slang have to go before... I don't know. Ask an entomologist. We should bring back groovy. Groovy. Alright. So as I was saying, our big foe is Maxi. Also, Ash Blossom. Also, Cross-Out Designator. Can we play... What do we got? Earth, Dark, Fire, Water, Wind. Okay. Pretty much everything, and then Big Gabonga is Light. Okay, so we can't play either of the two new, whatchamacallits. The Dominus cards. Let me think about this. So this adds a card from the deck to the hand. And this adds a card from the deck to the hand. This summons from the deck. This summons from the graveyard. This summons from the deck. This adds from deck to the hand. You can look and see. I wouldn't worry too much about that. This special summons from the deck. I'm just wondering if we can main, like, Droll. Called by... Oh, yeah. That's just unfortunate, because it's like most of our tech cards are being used just to stop us from dying to Ash, or dying to Maxi. And Fuelos, because everything summons from the deck almost. Scarm? Farfa? Why would I do that? Yeah, it's Goblin Bikers gone bonkers. Okay. I think I've learned about all I can learn. Sometimes I would test this or try to figure out, but it's like, okay, I get the basic idea. Scarm searches a fiend. Yeah, during the end phase. And this is our only fiend. Okay, so now we're gonna watch some deck profiles. And if you're watching this on YouTube, that means you're getting a short stream. Because I don't like to re-upload other people's deck profiles and stuff. I don't like to re-upload, basically, reaction content. That feels unfair to the people who made the deck profiles. So if you want to see this, come to the streams live. Otherwise, we'll be back when we're done. Alright, we're back. For the people watching on YouTube, we're absolutely back. We've never been so back. You didn't miss anything. Fuck. I forgot everything we learned. Okay, let's go back to YouTube. Let's bring everything up again. Time to load up all of the deck profiles once more. This time we'll do it at 0.5 speed. That way I'll make sure that I absorb the information. Very slow, no, I got it. We're fine. I think what we're gonna do is... I want to try... I think I mentioned before, we don't want to play the... we don't want to play the Fiendsmith to start. I will try 2 Clatter, 1 Boom Mock. I'm going to try the Grand Bash. And I'm open to trying one of these traps, chat. But only one. The question is, which one do we do? We got Pile Up. Special summon a goblin from your extra deck using monsters you control. This one is target a goblin on the field or graveyard, banish a card in their field or graveyard. Immediately Ixie summon using only goblin monsters you control. If you control Goblin Ixie, you can detach one from either field and negate that monster's effects. Oh, if target an Ixie, special summon a Goblin Ixie. Gotcha. So I'm trying to think against Blue Eyes, which is going to be most likely what we're facing. This lets us get rid of spell traps. This lets us turn Big Gabonga into that. This is Graveyard Disruption, which does help us. Of course, we'd really rather not banish the Clattersploder. Or any of these, really. Disrupt the Maiden. Yeah, so this is basically we can turn Big Gabonga into Crazy Beast and have spell trap removal. But it attaches it, and the thing about the True Light is it only destroys the field when it's destroyed. This one is a monster negate. You know what? Let's have a poll, chat. Which trap we play? So Pile Up, which is the one that lets us make the rank up, or Stampede, which lets us detach to negate. Keep in mind, this is also a one-time only thing. This is continuous. You got 2 minutes. You doing viewer games? Maybe on YG Omega. Do you have Omega? I used to test on Omega against viewers, but then like the last 3 times I tried this, there was only like one viewer who had this program and wanted to duel. We're going to play the Armor Ixie package. There's a rank 3. What's the rank 3 called? Ixie Armor Torpedo. Oh, the one person swore on this. What does this do again? Target a face-up monster you control and one Ixie in your graveyard. Equip that monster in the graveyard to the monster on the field. Change the equipped monster's attack. Equipped monster gains this card's attribute. It can attack again. Maybe. Probably not. Let's go ahead and Typhonus. Pile Up, it looks like people want. Okay. Underworld. Oh, wait. I forgot, we need to do IP and SP. Okay, and I can still put that in there. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 3, 12. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ponticon, thank you for the prime hype. Pray for me that Ryzeal's in the next pack so this deck can truly crush the competition. Seems unlikely once they just added Blue Eyes. Oh yeah, I was gonna look at P-Jam and had a list. Yeah, it's roughly the same. Nothing all that special. Oh wait. We've got 18 starters. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Is Emergency Teleport a starter? No, it's just an extender. It's only a starter if we add in the Punk engine. Do we want to add in the Punk engine? Punk would be like 2 of these and a Foxy tune. Could add in a third one just to balance it out. $50 cards. Let's try this. Let's do 10 starting hands, see what our ratios are looking like now. Okay, we've got 1, 2 starters, but they clash with each other. And one Ghost Ogre. Let me figure this. Mean Merciless. Going to the biggest Gabonga. Punk got support, not yet. We go Doug. Doug effect. Detach the Merciless. Summon. Dog effect. We want to get... entrance, right? Breakout. And then we can activate her in the graveyard. Detach that. Summon. No. We... breakout to get Gone Wild. Oh, I wanted to do that first. Yeah, because then this would have brought back the Gabonga. Because what I wanted to do was make the... Why do I have this? This is the wrong one. Yeah, I wanted to make this... detach. That would get Gabonga in the graveyard, and then Clattersploder would have brought it back. As it stands, I think we do it this way. Real quick, if we do summon... Oh, I can summon the one from my hand. Oh, it don't matter, though. Grab this. Oh, no. I was like, wait, what? It has another effect? And we make the Boozler. Oh, and I could special summon this, because Boozler is a wind! Do we attach Gone Wild? Yeah. Doesn't have an Ixie target in the graveyard? Yes. Oh, for some reason I thought this was an Omni-Negate. Okay, so now we clatter. What's attached to this? It's Gone Wild. We go 1. We go 2. We go 3. We go... Oh no, that's fine. Oh, I want to summon that then. Oh, that's fine. We make Troika. Oh wait, no I didn't. That was fine. We could have made the... what? Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm figuring it out. And this is... 1 monster. Okay. Not generic. Gotcha. Okay, that's game. So we got 1 good hand. Let's just test the hands real quick. We got 1 starter, 1 hand trap, 2 brick. We got 1 starter, 1 hand trap, 3 bricks. We got 3 starters, a hand trap, 1 brick. One starter, no hand traps. There we go. There's the optimal. 2 hand traps, 3 starters. It's everything I want, baby. Two hand traps, 1 starter, but we got protection, so it might as well be 2 starters. One starter, 2 hand traps, 2 bricks. Two starters, 1 hand trap, 2 bricks. We're not getting that good ratio very often. Gonna be one of those decks. It's really weird. I feel like we drew this, like, a whole bunch. No 1-card combos? Yeah, we have 1-card combos. That's what we were counting. How many 1-card combos did we open? And how many hand traps did we open? And how many bricks did we open? Let's organize this real quick, just for visually. Do, do, do. So basically, if you look here, I got 3, 3, 3. Ignore this side column over here. We've got 2 rows of starters. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We've got 18 starters. We've got 18, well, not 18 hand traps. We got 15 hand traps, and then these 3, which are not hand traps, but they're like, they can be disruption or they can be starters. Do they function as extenders? Yes. Some of these do. Some of them clash with each other. Some of them are extenders. If you can make an Ixie, then any goblin is an extender. This is also a starter. So I guess if we wanted to do it like this, and not ignore the top, then it's like, okay, we got 20 starters. 21 card starters, 15 hand traps, 3 protection, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess this is kind of protection too. It's not really a starter, but it's kind of a starter. Yeah, that's the problem, is we have to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bricks. We have 20 starters and 10 cards we don't want to see in our opening hand. 21 starters and 29 bricks. Yeah, and most of these are not hard bricks, is the thing, right? Like, if we draw Foxy Tune, it's not dead in hand. I don't think. You contribute 1 punk, special summon this. You could send this from your hand to the graveyard, send another card from your hand to your graveyard. If you do, special summon a punk. Like, if we get this, we can discard anything to get Xiamen. It's just that if we have to start with that, all Xiamen can do is search another copy of itself. And unless we have our normal summon, that Xiamen doesn't do anything in our hand. The same thing. Takatomborg, not necessarily dead, because if we happen to get a Boom Mock, then it's also open. If we grab the Terror Top, like if we have the Terror Top and the Takatomborg, we can go. Okay, Xiamen can't grab itself. Gotcha. That's why you'd have to run. Yeah, but most people, a lot of the decks we saw didn't even run 3 Xiamen. And I'm starting to really consider that too. I think... Yeah, for the sake of taking out 1 more brick... I think we put in like a wielder and a tracker. Because these are just free extenders if you draw them, but they're also make emergency teleport more open. That puts us down to 58 cards. Let's do a couple test hands now. So, starter, brick, 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 extender. we could, this is something that, like, you know, we can make full combo through Ash, but nothing else. Two starters, but these ones do kind of interact with each other, or do kind of conflict with each other. Because we only got 1 Takatomborg. But this one we also have, like, we can play through 2 hand traps because we have double hand trap insurance. This is what we want to see. You know, we're going second. We have the Max C. If they have Ash for that, we have Imperm for something else. If that doesn't stop them, it at least slows them down. And then we have, like, Tour Guide. If they Ash or Imperm the Tour Guide, then we have the Emergency Teleport for another 3. That makes Big Gabonga. So in this hand, we would have 2 hand traps, 2 starters, 1 extender. Here we go. 2 hand traps, 2 starters, and protection. Hand trap, 2 protection, a starter. I still don't know exactly what to think about Breakout. Breakout is like, you would be a fool to play it at anything less than 3. But at the same time, it's like a 1.5 card combo. But it's also a 1.5 card combo that, like, if you start with any other starter, not only does it let you extend, but it lets you bait out removal. Three starters, 1 hand trap. One hand trap, okay. What I'm seeing, at least from this, we just have too many like brick cards. I think we have to get rid of this, unfortunately. And what I'm gonna do is add in, like, let's try that. Breakout isn't the problem, yeah. Okay, so now we've got 3 hand traps and 1 starter. This might be an extender, but it also, yeah. Now we got too many hand traps. Granted, the great thing about the Bestials is that these are a hand trap, but they also put a body on the field for Breakout. So theoretically, if we're going second with this hand, if we can use the Bestial, then once our turn comes around, we can break out, tribute the Druis Worm, send something they control to the graveyard while getting something else. You hate this line, but it is full combo. Doug's a warrior, you can play Rhoda. I don't think I need 1 more starter. Especially one that just gets me to Doug, because you don't really want to normal summon Doug. You would rather use its effect. Starter, hand trap. See, this is the platonic idea. 3 starters, 2 hand traps, but they're the same hand trap. Let me try this combo one more time. Special, special. Make Big Gabonga. Activate. Merciless is hand, right? Hand or graveyard. Yeah, since we already got Doug, we grab this. Do we have anything for Nibiru? It's Bamboozler, right? Bamboozler can beat Nibiru. So if we think they might have Nibiru, we tour guide here. We would have had to tour guide earlier, would have been what we should have done. Because this is the 5th summon, but if they don't hit us here, then we've got Nibiru insurance. We activate this. We want to detach that. Summon Doug. Activate Doug. We get the Grand Breakout. Then we use... Oh wait, now we Grand Breakout, tribute off this. That lets us get Bikers Gone Wild. Gone Wild lets us get Clattersploder. Clattersploder lets us get the Big Gabonga back. Then we're going to Armored Ixie line. Draw a card. Now that we've gotten everything out of the deck. No, we don't want a Big Gabonga. Then we go up into Ixie Armor Fortress. We activate. We get this. We set. If we do this, then we can't bamboozle because it requires us to do 2, right? So we just end on like a Gone Wild that ain't doing anything. Okay. So we just make this. Pass turn. Big Gabonga. Add this. Rat. End phase, yeah. You can use the Boom Mock. We detach the Gone Wild. Summon. That triggers you. You. Then we Clattersploder. Put her in the graveyard. Oh wait, no, that was attached to that. Then we Armored Ixie. We make the Cicada King. Which allows us to do this. And then Big Gabonga attaches the 3rd Gone Wild. Double draws. And then Mean Merciless does that. And we've got more than enough. Okay. We got it. Gone Wild as any card, yeah. Okay. So, does anyone want to help me test this? If we've got any patrons, they get first crack. Send me a message on Discord. We'll wait a minute or two. If no patrons want to go, then I'll open it up to whoever. Help this man. Yeah, if we leave Gone Wild on the field, it's when it's sent to the graveyard, so it'll work. No messages, so here's the code. If there's anyone who wants to join in. Any variant you found that's interesting? Not particularly. I wasn't able to find anything too crazy. There was the one that uses Makonko stuff to go into Emperor Charles. Okay. Yeah, I think with this hand we go for Gone Wild. Droll. Let me break out. Let me break out. I don't want to look like that. Dog doesn't get us anything because we're under Droll, right? So we go for Boom Mock. And then Clatter Sploder brings us back. The problem is, if we make Gabonga, we have no way to trigger it. Do we? What is Droll? Okay. Oh, wait. I didn't realize this was, like, you could do this the same turn. Yeah, so I could have made Gabonga. And then we detach, like, the Boom Mock or the Clatter Sploder. No, we detach the Boom Mock because that activates from hand. Yeah, and then we'd have it. Oh. Never mind. We were never making it out alive. Let's find a rock. Ah, memento. Maximum C. This stops it because they're already destroyed. Now you get no search. My body is a machine that turns archetypes into Fiendsmith combo. Big Dragon. It's not letting me Ixie summon. Oh. You seem to be mistaken. That's funny. I just installed the software. Yeah, I know, it's weird sometimes. Everything looks really weird. Chain resolves. Boom Mock. My mock! I feel like I have a pretty good advantage here. Yep, the power of Maxi. Let's get this. What is this? If you control no or all monsters. Okay, I'd have to tribute to summon that. Do I want to? No. Let's do this. It's both Earth. Don't matter. None of this matters. We get the second Big Gabonga. I could have played better, yeah. Absolutely. And again, it was, you know, even if you played better, unfortunately, I had the Max C. That's this game. Thanks, Master Duel. Yeah, if you don't have anything, you can surrender if you want. Okay. GG. Unfortunately, it'd be like that. Alright, let's see. I have some sideboard cards. I mean, I'm not going to be playing against people with sideboards. Let's see if anyone else has wants to give it a shot. If not, you can have a run back. Give me a moment. Let me turn the AC back on. It's getting that time of year, chat. I need to find the exact temperature I am comfortable. Oh, can I join? Master Duel only list? Yeah. We are testing for Master Duel. But if you're here, you can join in. I'll join after this Overwatch game. Alright. Well, Magnetic Flux Tape, it looks like you're the only one here, so come on back in if you want. We could try again. Although I was like, I'm tempted to be like, yeah, you can go ahead and go first, but I don't think I could beat a Memento board. I could certainly try. Yeah, I might as well. 50 cards and I drew it again. Question is does Memento have like an off-ramp now? I know they have a lot of new tools at their disposal, but one of the reasons I didn't want to play them is because I'm like, I'm pretty sure if they get hit by Maxi, they're just donezo. Wait, I fucked it up. Alright. Let's go for Grand Bash. Cracked under zero pressure. I wouldn't say it's zero pressure because there's a lot of people. You can get nervous playing against a streamer, even if the streamer's like really chill. What platform is this? I think it's YGO Omega, right? I really need to get the one that looks a lot like Master Duel. But I only play this like once a month, so I always forget. Normal summon, without tributing. Veiler. I do have the cross out. In perm. Alright. Emergency teleport. Yeah. Yeah, we just battle. Layout's kind of fire. It looks pretty nice, but it's so hard to beat Master Duel. Master Duel looks so nice. MD Pro? Gotcha. Yeah, let's get a clatter on here. What does this do? Fusion summon. Okay, we just do this now. Boom mock. I'm gobbling you up. Yeah, some effects, they're like, when you have to send multiple, they allow you to do multiple. Some, not so much. Get a nice shiny black rock this time, chat. Looks like coal, kind of, but a little shinier. It's got an almost minty kind of face. Ooh, there's a biggin. Joe, don't play with your food. Oh, yeah, we're gonna do this. Clatter. We're gonna get Doug. Attack. Clatter effect. Gone wild. Activate. Gone wild effect. Doug. Doug effect. This deck is a little silly at times, chat. Oh, I'm going wild, baby. Oh, they're just surrendering to Dr. Manhattan. Okay, did the person who was playing Overwatch want to try? Or are you still in that game? Why didn't it trigger? If this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can target one, add it to your hand. Was it the Acheron that you wanted to trigger or something else? Yeah, battle don't count. Lawyer game for lawyers! I really wish it'd let you see it. If you have this over on the side and you click on this, then you can kind of see it. And you can increase this, but it just takes up more space. But it don't do anything to, like, highlight the effects. It's Omega, right? Yeah. We can get one more in. Oh, if you middle click, yeah. Oh, looks like they're not there. Alright. Well, thank you, Magnetic Flux Take, for giving me a couple duels. But I think we're just going to go over to Master Duel now. Let me get the... Get this open. Go ahead and turn off my generic music. And while I'm building this, I did want to ask you, chat. Let me see if I can find this email again real quick. What exactly were they asking? Yeah, I'm curious, how interested would you be, chat, in hearing about, like, another card game that's being kickstarted? I've mentioned this briefly before, but I had some devs reach out for the game Neuroscape. And they sent me 2, like, starter decks. Play on Bastard Duel. And their Kickstarter's apparently coming up. And they're like, you don't have to, but if you could, like, tell people about it, we'd appreciate it, especially if you liked it. I thought it was that one called Alestrals. Yeah. Well, I got that too. I'm basically waiting to shout that out until I have, like, a digital way to play it. That's good. They're working on it, but Clash still ain't up yet. Plus, the big thing is that, like, you know, there's already so many people talking about Alestrals. This other one, not as many. I'm just not sure if, like, anyone would really care. You know, every time I see a video where someone's like, check out this other card game, I'm like, it's hard enough to keep up with Yu-Gi-Oh! Why would I want to try this other one? But I really do... This new game, it has a lot of potential. It's, one of the interesting things about it. I do want to see you play... Yeah, Alestrals is fun. The thing about Alestrals is it's got, like, old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of feel. There's still some combos. There's still, like, traps and stuff like that, but it's a little more slow-paced. And their energy system is interesting. But this new one, it's kind of like, I've played Magic before, and I kind of like the idea of Magic, but there's a few things that rub me the wrong way, and this feels almost like they found a way to fix Magic. I can't get over the art and Alestrals. Yeah, that too. I never really was into Pokemon, so I don't really get too much. Plus, I find it, I don't know, I like the goofy... I like the goofy shit in Yu-Gi-Oh! But for some reason, being like, and then I summon my Krakatuga and attack. It just, like, everything has a really goofy, like, name. How similar is it to Magic the Gathering, though? The slot stuff in Neuroscape will throw me off the most. And keeping up... Yeah, they really need an app or something to keep track of life. The thing about Neuroscape, right, and I'll just do this briefly, is, so one of the main problems I and pretty much everyone has with Magic is the mana problem. If you don't know, in Magic, in order to play cards, you have to have mana. Mana is in your deck along with regular cards, the cards that you play. So, like, if you want to get going, you usually need at least 1 mana, ideally 2, because most of your cards are going to have some kind of cost. So you kind of have to hope that you draw, like, 1 or 2 mana and then some playable cards. And because it's a slower paced game in general, unless you're playing at, like, the highest levels, generally you also gotta hope that, like, if you draw 1 or 2 mana and, like, 3 playable cards, that's good. But if those cards don't search your deck, or scry, or do something like that, and your next 4 draws are mana, you're screwed. Because all you have is a bunch of resources, and nothing to use those resources on. Yeah, lands, I guess, is what I should say. You use lands to get mana. Lands are the cards, mana is the resource. Magic gives you mulligans. Yeah, but the mulligans only help you on your first turn, whereas, like, if a Magic game usually goes 10, 12 turns or whatever, there's a chance that, like, the next 5 cards on top of your deck are all mana or no mana, and then you're kind of screwed. And the search power's not nearly as intense, yeah. And so one of the big problems is, like, how do you solve that? And a lot of different games have solved that in different ways. In Hearthstone, instead of having mana in your deck that you draw, you just get 1 mana every turn. You start with 1, you get to use that 1, next turn you have 2, the next turn you have 3, so the longer the game goes on, the more resources you automatically have. So things naturally kind of ramp up over time. That solves the problem of not having resources or having games be over too quickly. But it also kind of gets rid of sort of a lot of player choice, a lot of your ability to, like, manage mana. It becomes just a cost, a system. You don't actually, like, interact with it in any meaningful way most of the time. Pokemon Pocket did the same thing. Yeah. And I've seen, I forget the name, I think it was no, it wasn't Weiss Schwartz. It was that other one that, like, had a really good reprint policy, but also, like, half the cards were naked and you couldn't play them in public. I forget, they weren't naked, but they went really big on, like, swimsuit rare. Not Vanguard. Vanguard is more like Yu-Gi-Oh! In that, like, there's not really, like, a standard resource system. I forget, it was really interestingly designed, and basically how that one went was you had 2 decks. You had a deck full of playable cards, and you had a deck full of mana, and if you grabbed one, or each turn you grabbed 1 card from each deck. So you got a mana and you got a card you could play. And that way you were always good. One Piece, that card game, they have, like, a deck of mana, and every turn you add 2 to your pool. So it basically works exactly like Hearthstone, just you get 2. I'll look it up later. So here's the interesting thing about Neuroscape, the game that I've actually been testing, is that you get 2 decks. You get a deck of characters and software and stuff like that. It's all cyberpunk coded. So you got cards that you can play, and their mana is called RAM. And you have a RAM deck. And every turn, you get to draw 2 cards But you can choose. You can draw 1 card from each deck, or you can draw 2 RAM, or you can draw 2 cards from the top of your deck. And it seems very simple, like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. But it actually makes the game, like, every turn, it turns what, instead of just solving the resource problem, right? It makes it into an engaging mechanic where every turn you're making an important decision about whether or not you want to dig deeper into your deck or add more resources to your field. And depending on what your opponent does, can vastly change what you're going to do. Because if they continue to ramp up, even if you need to dig deeper, you might feel pressured to like add more RAM so that they don't pace you. The only RAM I want is the RAM Ranch. But here's the other interesting thing about that. How do they handle deck out? I don't know. I think if you can't draw from your main deck, or if you can't draw at all, I think you deck out. I had 1 squirrel. That's kind of what Digimon does. But here's the other unique thing. So in Magic, and in Magic, whenever you play mana, you just tap it. You turn it sideways. That mana has been used for that turn. Or you tap your lands, you get that much mana. And then at the start of your turn, all your mana becomes untapped. You can use it again. One Piece kind of does it where you attach your cards. You attach the mana to the cards. You tap it and that's the mana you can use. Yeah. It's weird, but it makes sense. The Neuroscape is interesting where if you want to use a character, if you want to summon a monster to the field, you have to commit RAM to it. Which is basically you stack the RAM underneath it, kind of like an Ixie, and that RAM is attached to it. So you no longer have it in your pool. If you just want to play a spell, I think they're called programs. Most programs you just tap it, and then it comes back on the next turn. So by committing characters to the field, you're removing your ability to play other kinds of spells, because your pool is going to be decreased. But if that character that you've committed RAM to gets destroyed or removed from the field somehow, all of your RAM goes back into your pool for next turn. So it becomes refreshed. You're never losing the material. So there's this very interesting back and forth where if you summon 2 or 3 big monsters, you have those big creatures that you can attack with, but you lose your ability to activate a lot of spells and traps, especially the powerful ones, because you don't have anything in your pool. Everything's committed to the board. So your opponent can really kind of dance around you by playing programs to stall and prevent attacks and stuff like that. But then if they do make a push and they destroy your characters and they don't kill you, all that RAM comes back so that you can swing the pendulum back. Now you've got a bunch of uncommitted RAM that you can shoot back in to do more plays. And it all ends up just being very, very engaging and fun. At least with the 2 starter decks we have. Just got here, what are we playing? Goblin Bikers. I can't get enough of them. Okay, I'm gonna delete this one. Deleted. It seems like a neat concept, yeah. And I was reading the rule book, and again, they've only got the 2 decks, but they talk about stuff where they're everything's cyberpunk based, right? So the 2 decks they have right now are Hackers, which kind of play like a burn control, magic blue deck. They've got the equivalent of traps, but they're called Trojans. They're like viruses. It's weird, you play them face down on your opponent's field, and then when certain conditions are met, you flip up the Trojans, so you infect them with a virus at inopportune times. And then the other one is Cyborgs, where it's all about putting big beaters on the field and then equipping them with cybernetic arms and stuff like that. But in the instructions, they talk about, what was it? One of the classes they have, or one of the, like, colors or teams, whatever you want to call it. It's, they're corpos. They're like the corporate overlords. And a lot of their cards are based around making things more expensive. So they can go to your character that usually costs 3 RAM and say, okay, now it costs 4. And if you don't have enough RAM attached to it, it doesn't die, but anytime it makes an attack or uses its effect, you have to roll dice, and if it fails, it damages itself. Can you show some cards? Yeah. Give me a moment. Let's get rid of this one, too. We don't need DDDs. New one. Goblin Biker. Goodbye, DDDs. Yep. I hardly knew ye. Let me go get the cards. No need for the spreadsheets anymore. Yeah, here's what the RAM looks like, which I do like the design of that. There's something nice about it where it like feels like it works as good sideways and forward. But all the RAMs are the same. You just got your RAM deck. And then this is the cyborg deck. There's Freya, the rogue Valkyrie. You can see she costs 4 RAM, you gotta commit to her. And she has an effect that takes 2 more RAM. Deal 2 damage to any 2 target characters. And then they've got magic style stats, 4 attack, 6 defense. And the neat thing is these side slots. You see she's got 3 on the left and the right, 3 on the bottom, and 2 on the top. So what 4, 6? 4 means she has 4 attack and 6 defense. The combat works like, yeah, you have blockers. The combat works exactly like Magic. If you know Magic, it works like that. If you don't know Magic, I don't have the patience to explain it right now. It's a little complicated, especially compared to Yu-Gi-Oh! But you get used to it. But no, the monsters, they have these slots. And they're different levels of slots. And so the neat thing is, say for example, you have a piece of equipment, Riot Blade, a little Assassin's Creed dagger. You'll notice it has 1 slot on the left and the right. That's because this is an equip card that goes on the hand. So, let me get both hands up here. So what you can equip has to match the slots. Or not match, but like, since she has 3 slots, she can do a 1, 2, or a 3 on the left and right. If she only had 1, she could equip this, but she couldn't equip anything bigger. And so the cybernetics is like kind of complicated that way. And then how the equip cards work is that like they have an effect, but the effect is given to the thing it's equipped to. Oh yeah. Lugnut. Isn't it adorable, chat? Will it focus? He's a little cyber dog. Why isn't it focusing? There we go. Look at him. And his effect is Bork. Target a character with 3 or less of defense, it cannot block. So funnily enough, I was playing my friend, and it was like, what was it? I was going to kill him next turn, And I had enough blockers that it was like, yeah, he could attack with everything, but I could just block it and then I burn him to death next turn. And then he got fucking Lugnut. And Lugnut barked, and my thing got distracted and couldn't block. Just a distraction. Let's see. Iron Maiden. Don't let Iron Maiden, the band, know about this. That fuzz effect is from the green screen. It's not on the card. That would be cool. The Plug. He searches drugs for you. The Good Shit. Search your deck for a drug. Oh yeah, Brandon got to summon this. The Boonyan War Driver. It's a fucking cyborg elephant. You have to commit 6 RAM to it, but it can't be blocked. It's too big to be blocked. Hello, first stream, welcome. We're just looking at some other card games real quick. Overrun. They're blue, yeah. This is the, like, face card. Holographic. Arc Circuit Breaker. Tap, deal 1 damage to all characters. All cyborgs gain +2. The Call of the Chrome. The Plug deal in Spice, yeah. Is there any other really interesting one? Delete, Drive Saw. Oh yeah, one of those drugs you can search. What game is this? Neuroscape. Megaroids, Kiwi Crush. Target character gets 4/4 and 10 Psychosis. If you have Psychosis, you have to roll dice, and if the result is less than your Psychosis level, you hurt yourself instead. It's confusion. Essentially. He had veins on his veins. Oh, and of course, you gotta have Big Cyborg. He mostly robot now. Metalhead. Big Scary Skullman. Ah, so like normal drugs, yeah. Bring me the goblins, okay. Let's get the goblins in here. Bestial. Oh, I have a Royal Boommock. Sure. Am I playing 2 Clattersploder? Yes. And 1 Merciless. And 1 Troika. I guess I'll get a shiny one. We have 3 of that. 1 of this. 1 of this. I need 3 of this, actually. And 3 of this. I got my 3 Doug. I need 2 Big Gabonga. And Bonkers. I'm gonna go Bonkers. Fuelos. This deck just got expensive, yeah. 1 Wielder. 1 Tracker. Speedroids. Tour Guide. I've only got 2 tour guide. I'll need a 3rd one. Ashblow. Ghost Ogue. Imperm. Called by we designating one Veiler, the Bug, no Droplet. It doesn't help us do what we want to do. Armored Ixie, yeah. Fiendsmith, probably, yeah, we're gonna start without the Fiendsmith. Torpedo, thank you. Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. Cicada King. I was like, oh, I can break so many of these down. They're only in the legacy packs. What am I missing? Oh yeah, I had this extra one that I didn't need. I forgot. We'll play 2 Zeus then. I've got 2. No one expects the second Zeus. IP, we already got it. Cherubini could be helpful. Could be. Yeah, so it's actually not that expensive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 URs. That's 6 times 3, add a 0, 180. We can almost afford it now. Zeus overlay Zeus after attacking. Maybe if we get all this, we're halfway there already? No, we're a fourth of the way there. My blue and purple frame. Typhon, we could play Typhon. Are they still in the shop because of the new cards? Yeah. Pretty sure. It's... Yeah, this one. So we have a chance we could get the Dominus, Impulse, and Purge while we're pulling. They've got Tour Guide in here. They've got Big Gabonga. They've got Goblin Bikers Gone Wild. They've got this. It's everything we need, right? Fortune Tune, yeah. I could do that. Yep, everything we need is in a pack. When we'll get Suda, no idea. While we're here, chat, we can pick out the accessories. I know you all like doing that. I forget, they don't have any Goblin Biker stuff, do they? No Goblin Mate. I'm not getting the Cherry Blossom Field. Jar of Metamorphosis might work. It's on the dual pass. E. Why do you have so many legacy packs? I don't open them. They're like useless. Yeah, I know there's a Goblin Biker wallpaper. That's in the dual pass. Like the Diabelle. Yeah. So we'll get that eventually. But it looks like there's nothing else really that's like inherent. So, Ixie. Just go for the Ixie box. There's no attribute associated with it. Gold Pride? Why? We played that for the Gold Pride episode. Chibi Gohan, how are you doing tonight, young man? Hope your evening is going well. Because bikers? I don't know. Gold Pride is neat. Slash poll. What deck box? Ixie Black. Gold Pride. Vote now on your phones. Hello, Joe. Hello, Chibi. There's gotta be sleeves that have goblins on them, right? There's like the weird holiday ones. Those are trolls. Did I miss them? Ray. Gotham's. Plunder Patrol, yeah. RGB Rainbow Lucian. I guess those no, in June we'll be doing Christmas in July. Ixie Cup sleeves. I could have swore there was one that had goblins on it. Like an upstart goblin or something. Jankmas in July, yeah, we'll be recording it in June though. Okay, Ixie Black just barely winning. It's a decked box. Oh yeah. 2024. Well, Ixie Black won. And I guess we're just doing Ixie Black with this too. Desert field, it has to be the desert. Why? Are they in a desert? In any of the card art? Looks like they're in a city. I guess there's kind of some sand here. Yep, I guess that is sandy colored. I can kind of see buildings in the background. This looks more like a city. This has too much explosions going on. Are they connected to the Springans? No, it's a different universe. Grand entrance, they're just coming to annoy Diabell. Yeah, they're part of the Diabell lore, but I'm pretty sure their thing is like... they show up and annoy her on her way to do stuff. This is Big Gabonga in prison. Oh, Big Gabonga and Diabell are both in prison, and then someone comes to save her. Or they save Big Gabonga, and that also frees Diabell. And now that one... Oh, I guess they hunted after her because she was wanted. And he's saying they're over there, and he's like looking at the wanted poster. Then the Azamina shows up. Let's see. Troika doesn't have anything in the background.
Just a little help.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Chibi. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. This Big Gabonga, yeah, and it looks like the Azamina stuff's coming in. Poopler, too. And then this is Poopler turning into a big snake eye, and Diabell's like riding up here, and all the goblins are being crushed by it. They're like, oh fuck, oh shit. And yeah, I think this is also Poplar just going wild. Wait, is the crazy beast Poplar? I'm heading to bed. Sleep well, Chibi Gohan. I hope your evening is great. That's the goblin crazy beast. It's got some kind of lock on it. Poplar eats the crazy beast. What card art does that go into? We gotta look at Golden Novas. The Sinful Spoils Trap. Okay, we'll look at that. Okay, I guess the desert is going to be the one we're going for. We could just do the desert. Or it could be like, ooh, the Azamina stuff's creeping in. Watch out. Uh-oh. Foreign capital. Wood. Or this kind of looks like biker stuff. Feels like the Dune sandworm. That's the crazy beast. Yeah, it looks kind of like an engine. Okay. What is our mate gonna be standing on? Do we have anything else that looks mechanical or like an engine? Limiter removal? It's limiter removal, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, and car. Oh, no, bike. I forgot there was a bike. The bikers. There has to be a goblin mate, right? Nope. The treasure. Maybe at the end of the month. Okay, we're gonna put Gone Wild in the center. We're gonna put Crazy Beast over here. Get Big Gabonga. The bike was made for this. And then the rest of this I'll have to change after I record. Or did I already do that? Hold up. Let me check. Ooh, pardon me. Okay, yeah. I did record that. Although I didn't name it right. It needs to be Blue Eyes background. Sinful Spoils Struggle. Deception of the Sinful Spoils. The puppers are eating them, not Sylvie. Queen Azamina. Okay. She's like all weird and fucked up and shit. Who is this an evil version of? Who's Soul and Krikrion? Determination. Wait, I have a link to the lore. Guilt. I think she's just a guy. Awakening. A vos sabidos. Oh, we got all the illustrations. Okay. I don't understand any of this. It's all in Japanese and shit. It's neat though. Debtors. Okay, this is after she broke out of prison. Gotcha. So it's immediately after they break out of prison. She's like getting the snake eye all together. This is two mages fighting. Ah, there you go. Poplar is just like slurp. The Goblin Bikers thought they were the kings of giving the suck. But no, it was Poplar all along. Poglar. Target any number of cards on the field equal to the number of sinful spoils that are banished or in the graveyard. Destroy them. If set cards are destroyed or banished, you can shuffle 2 cards from the field into the deck. Yeah, so despite being part of the lore, unlike Azamina or White Forest, there's no, like, Sinful Spoils slash Goblin Biker cards, right? Nom nom. No, they're just kind of there. Hanging out with the family. Having ourselves a party. I was just hoping there'd be a card where it's like, if you control Diabellstar or a rank 3 Ixie, they're filler arc. They're around, you know, they're doing stuff. Anyway, I think we're... Oh, wait, yeah, I was going to do this real quick. And then we're going to get going. We're at our limit. Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed. There we go. We got a goblin. Chat, we finally got a goblin. Also, I think... You know, I saw the thing earlier where people were like, oh yeah, the goblins are the sucky deck because they suck things up and attach them. And I was like, that's how I sell the episode, right? I'd be like, can I climb to the top of Master Duel with the suckiest Yu-Gi-Oh deck? And it's like a pun or whatever. But then I saw so many people doing it, I'm like, okay, that's clearly low-hanging fruit. What if instead I went with the more clever thing and I was like, what if instead of sucking them up, we say they gobble. That's what we call an effect that attaches to Ixie. Being gobbled up. Like being goblined. Except if I did that, then the title wouldn't make sense. Do we put the snake to reference the Diabellstar lore? Do we have this so we can pick the goblin's nose? Steel? No, Steel is taking control of a monster. Can I gobble up the ladder? Pick this nose. Okay, one last poll. What frame? Pick nose. Big snake. I think picking is funnier. Yeah, but this is more lore accurate. Oh, finally, I can put my Black Wave title. You don't want to mess with this guy. Like... And I guess we do this for now. We'll get the Goblin Biker one eventually. Or do we do this because it's like... the gift exchange because we're sad we don't have the Goblin Biker, Wow, the nose picking's really winning. We do the gift exchange because we're sad that we don't have the Goblin Biker thing yet. We're like, I wanted the Goblin Biker back wallpaper, but all I got was this. I'll have Mr. Metal like transpose the shirt with like a picture of itself. It'll be recursive. It's either that or we go Goblin Circus. Because it's technically a goblin. Gift exchange. Invite them to our rowdy party. Goblin Circus does seem fun. Why is so freaked up? He's just a little slurp. Well, it's breaking his pot of greed. He wanted to draw cards, not get slurp. Okay, I think people like this one more. Also, who's this guy? Is that the Fiend? Wait, are those the Fiend comedians? The Fiend comedians are in town? And it has the snake of Snake Eyes lore. The Fiend comedians are here. Okay. Anyway, this has been a fun time, chat. We've been good. We've learned a lot. As I said last time, or earlier, this coming up Tuesday, I'll be building this, opening the packs in Master Duel, and actually, like, getting the gems and everything. And then I'll be testing it. So if you have ever wanted to duel me in Master Duel, show up on Tuesday's stream. That's when we'll be doing it. For now, I'm going to get going. I don't think there's anything else happening this weekend. I might stream a little tomorrow to finish up, because I got to finish up the Triangle Duel event anyway, and I don't have much else going on. So only time will tell. But most likely you won't see me again until Tuesday. Except for, of course, the Masochist on the YouTube channel. And, of course, if you want to hear my dulcet voice narrating an original book that I wrote myself, sort of a comic fantasy story, you check out The Legend of Lefty, which is also on my YouTube channel. Blue Eyes Ladder when? The editor is working on it now. I'm hoping next week. But only time will tell.